The cold morning air cut through his jacket as Daniel Harper stood at the edge of Riverside Park in Columbus, Ohio, staring at the river that moved steadily forward, no matter how heavy the world felt. He took a slow breath, the kind that tries to quiet a tired heart. Daniel was a veteran, a single father, and a man barely holding things together. Every morning began the same way. He packed his daughter Emily's lunch with careful hands, pretending the fridge wasn't almost empty. He walked her to the bus stop, waved as the yellow school bus disappeared, and then turned back toward a life filled with unanswered questions. Bills stacked on the kitchen table, job applications rejected without explanation, nights when memories from his service overseas refused to let him sleep. Daniel had once worn his uniform with pride. He had believed service would protect his family's future. But after returning home, injuries that didn't show on X-rays made it impossible to keep steady work. Emily's mother had passed away years earlier, leaving Daniel to be both father and mother, strength and softness. That morning, after dropping Emily at school, Daniel walked through Riverside Park to clear his mind. The city hummed around him. Cars passed on the nearby road. A city bus hissed as it stopped, letting people off who looked like they knew exactly where they were going. Daniel felt invisible among them. He sat on a weathered wooden bench near a line of tall trees, their leaves glowing green under the early sun. For a moment, the beauty of the park reminded him that life still held gentleness. He closed his eyes, whispering a quiet prayer not for himself, but for Emily. That was when he heard it. A soft cry, almost lost beneath the sound of the river. Daniel opened his eyes and looked around. Near a path that curved toward the children's playground, he saw an elderly woman struggling to lift a small grocery bag. Her hands shook. A cane rested against her leg. The bag tore slightly, apples rolling onto the ground. People passed her, some glanced, no one stopped. Daniel's first instinct was to stay seated. His back ached. His wallet held only a few dollars. He had his own worries, his own storms. But something deeper pulled him forward. A lesson he had learned long ago, not on a battlefield but in the quiet moments of service. He stood up and walked toward her. "Ma'am, let me help you," he said gently. The woman looked up, surprise filling her tired eyes. "Oh, thank you, son. I didn't want to bother anyone." Daniel knelt, gathering the apples, placing them carefully back into the bag. He noticed her shoes were worn, her coat thin for the weather. "My name is Margaret Collins," she said softly. "I'm just trying to get home before my legs give out." Daniel smiled, a real smile he hadn't felt in days. "I'm Daniel. Let me walk you to the bus stop." As they walked slowly beneath the trees, Margaret told him about her life. She had once been a school librarian. Her husband had passed away. Her children lived in other states, busy with their own lives. The bus was her only way to get around. When they reached the stop, a city bus pulled up, releasing a warm gust of air. Daniel helped her step inside, handing the bag to the driver. Before the doors closed, Margaret reached for his hand. "Young man," she said, her voice trembling, "you have no idea how much this means to me." Daniel nodded, watching the bus disappear down the street. He didn't know it yet, but that small act, done on a day when he felt he had nothing left to give, had just set something powerful in motion. Life did not suddenly become easier after that morning. Daniel still struggled. The bills still waited. The nights were still long. But something inside him felt lighter, as if kindness had reminded him who he was beyond the pain. A few days later, Daniel sat in his old car, parked outside Emily's school. The engine rattled softly as he waited for dismissal. Children spilled out laughing, backpacks bouncing. Emily ran toward him, her smile bright enough to chase away the darkest thoughts. "Daddy," she said, climbing into the seat, "my teacher says we're learning about heroes this week." Daniel laughed quietly. "Oh yeah, what kind of heroes?" "Everyday ones," she replied, "the ones who help people." Her words stayed with him. That weekend, Daniel took Emily back to Riverside Park. They shared a sandwich on the same bench where he had met Margaret. Nearby, families picnicked. A helicopter passed overhead, likely heading toward the city hospital, its steady sound echoing across the sky, reminding Daniel how many lives intersected every day without ever truly seeing each other. As they were leaving, Daniel noticed Margaret again, seated near the fountain. She waved when she saw him. "You remembered this place," she said warmly. They talked for a while. Margaret listened as Daniel shared small pieces of his life, careful not to sound like he was asking for help. She listened closely, the way librarians do, storing stories with care. A week later, Daniel received a phone call that surprised him. A local community center was looking for a part-time maintenance coordinator. The job wasn't glamorous, but it was steady. The referral, he learned, came from Margaret. Her niece worked on the center's board. Daniel started work the following Monday. The community center overlooked a green park filled with oak trees and walking paths. Some days, Daniel fixed doors and cleaned floors. Other days, he helped kids with homework or carried groceries for seniors. Word spread quietly. People began greeting him by name. One afternoon, as Daniel locked up, a man approached him near the parking lot where cars and motorbikes were lined up. The man introduced himself as Thomas Reed, a local journalist. "I've been hearing about you," Thomas said. "A veteran helping out around here. People say you never turn anyone away." Daniel shrugged. "I just do what I can." A few days later, an article appeared in the local paper. It didn't exaggerate. It didn't dramatize. It simply told the truth. A struggling single dad veteran, choosing kindness even when life was heavy. The response surprised everyone. Donations arrived for the community center. Volunteers signed up. Someone anonymously paid off a portion of Daniel's medical bills. Emily's school received new supplies. The ripple grew wider, touching people Daniel would never meet. Margaret visited the center one afternoon, watching children play beneath the trees. "You see, Daniel," she said, her eyes shining, "kindness is never small. It just waits for the right moment to grow." Daniel looked around at the park, the city, the people moving with purpose. For the first time in a long while, he felt hope not as a distant dream, but as something alive and breathing. Years later, Daniel would still return to Riverside Park, sometimes alone, sometimes with Emily, who had grown taller and stronger, carrying her own quiet kindness into the world. On one such afternoon, Daniel sat on the same bench, sunlight filtering through green leaves, the city alive with motion. Cars rolled by. A bus stopped nearby. Children laughed in the distance. Life continued, imperfect yet beautiful. Daniel reflected on how close he had come to giving up. How easy it would have been to stay seated that morning, lost in his own struggles. One small decision made without expectation had not only changed his path, but had touched countless others. He learned that kindness doesn't require wealth. It doesn't need strength or perfect timing. It only asks for a willing heart. Emily sat beside him, reading a book. "Dad," she said softly, "do you think people can really change the world?" Daniel smiled. "I think they already do, one choice at a time." The park breeze carried the sound of life forward, just like the river had on that first morning. Daniel knew challenges would still come. Pain didn't disappear, but neither did purpose. And sometimes, the bravest thing a person can do is help someone else stand, even when they themselves are barely standing. Dear viewers, if this story touched your heart, please take a moment to comment below and share your thoughts. Your words matter more than you know. Kindly like this video, share it with your friends and family, and help spread kindness further than this story ever could. And most importantly, subscribe to our channel Kindness Quest for more inspiring stories that remind us humanity is still alive. Thank you for listening. Your support keeps these stories alive.